Question is, can we get through the group phase having allowed 0 goals? That's the goal for the Sweden match. Oh, what's going on here?
Time for us to go viral. Recently, this video of LeBron getting his haircut hit the gram. A lot of people pointed out that LeBron has a full head of hair and a perfect fade. What do you guys think of this? Nick, you're the hair expert.
Oh, jeez. Go ahead, Chris.
Come on, we got our barber coming in today. We're getting our haircut today. Maybe we'll do an Instagram live or something video.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't, unlike, listen, I don't know how LeBron goes from being clearly bald on the top of his head in multiple places to having what seems like a full head of hair.
Oh, they have this miracle smoke. It's in a can and everything.
Is that
I put a little bit.
Or is that like?
No, they have some Beijing. They have some little smoke. He's probably got a combination of both. I'm gonna tell you guys this though. Last time I got my hair cut and I didn't have on some type of cape or a shirt, I was in the housing projects and one of my little buddies was cutting and we was both sweating. It was 100 degrees and flies and everything. That was the last time. Typically, you got a shirt on getting your hair cut, bruh.
Yeah, there are a lot of questions about this.
Absolutely.
Time for some stories to start your morning. Brought to you by the unexpected energy of ExxonMobil.
Trying to keep up with Nick Wright. You see Nick Wright got them locks up top.
Okay.
It's been a rough 24 hours for Boston. Both Kyrie Irving and Al Horford are expected to leave in free agency. CC, what do you make of the Celtics situation?
Man, this is very confusing. I mean, everything was geared toward this summer, all those picks. Kyrie Irving signed an extension, either try to go out and get Anthony Davis or make some other big splash. Like, I'm totally shocked the way the Boston Celtics team is falling apart. Al Horford, man, there's not a lot of guys in this league I have more respect for. On and off the court, him as a leader, locker room guy, him, the way he's worked on his game to be the type of player that he is. Man, this is shocking news that they couldn't come to some type of agreement.
It is amazing how quickly things can fall apart in the NBA. The Celtics folks would tell you, my pal, Colin Cowherd, said it's going to be the next dynasty in this league. They're going to re-sign Kyrie. He committed to him. They're going to then obviously trade for Anthony Davis. Al Horford's going to be there. Gordon Hayward's already locked in. Look at that big four. Now, AD, you're not even in the game for. Kyrie's walking out the door. Horford's walking out the door with no compensation. And Gordon Hayward appears to be a shell of himself.
And what it proves is you can't listen to a guy that says wide receivers are only the icing on the cake. You can't listen to him. Oh, my mentor, Colin Cowherd.
Hope you're enjoying your vacation, Colin.
Miss you, buddy. Everything I know.
To the Raptors, Kawhi Leonard celebrated his title at the parade in Toronto on Monday. His old teammate, Tony Parker, said he was very happy for Kawhi after winning his second title. CC, your thoughts on Parker's comments?
Oh, yeah. Kawhi was 100 times happier than he was for him.
Like Tony Parker's injury was 100 times worse?
Absolutely. Got Popovich and the staff there to talk him into going out to the media, telling him, oh, my injury. I've never even seen an injury that was 100 times worse than another player.
Let him try to mend the fences here. Let him try to extend a hand to the other side and say, hey, Kawhi, maybe things got a little sideways between us, but I'm happy for you. I'm happy. Those guys won a championship together. That's like a blood transfusion. They'll always be brothers.
Man. We was on the same team, but the way he treated Kawhi and the way he had the public questioning Kawhi's integrity, oh, Kawhi's not hurt.
Make up for it.
Oh, no, ain't no making up for that. No, there's certain things you can't come back from, Nick.
Well, if that's the case, then Tony Parker might have in his NBA career done 2 of them to teammates. We don't have to talk about the first one.
No.
I'll bring that up.
Let's not. Moving on to the draft. The Pelicans are essentially a lock to take Zion, #1. And now, according to reports, they're exploring a trade to go up to the #2 spot to select his Duke teammate, RJ Barrett. Nick, thoughts on this?
All right, so I read this report, and somehow in my brain, RJ Barrett's name was Ja Morant's name. Because I thought it was like, oh my God, if the Pelicans could get Zion and trade up for Ja, what an unbelievable haul. And then I was told this morning I misread the report. I read it again. The idea that you would trade up to #2 and not take Ja Morant is so ridiculous to me. I can't believe it. David Griffin's too smart for that. It's nothing against RJ Barrett, but if you're going to try to use the assets that you have, the 4 pick and other things, to move up to #2, Then you get the other can't-miss guy in this draft, Ja Morant. You team him with Zion Williamson, not just because Zion and RJ were roommates and they played in college together. Not interested. Ja Morant is the guy that has to go number 2, no matter who's taking that, no matter who's picking there.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know about Ja with that pick, but I do believe that the relationship that Zion and RJ have, it could be special if cultivated the right way. Now, I wouldn't go out of my way. I wouldn't pass over Ja. Now, I do have Lonzo, so I do have a point guard. You can only have so many guards on the team. I do believe in the right situation. Maybe it's not the Pelicans, but I know there's other teams that had talked about how special their relationship was.
If you can get to the 2, I would give you Lonzo and the 4. For the opportunity to take Ja Morant at number 2 and walk away with a consensus number 1 and a guy in Ja who would be the number 1 pick in about half of the drafts of the last 20 years.
Finally, good news for Saints wide receiver Michael Thomas. According to reports, New Orleans is ready to make this former second-round pick the highest-paid receiver in the NFL. Since entering the league, he has had at least 90 catches in all 3 seasons. CC, do fans have enough appreciation for Thomas?
No, I don't think so, because even I was wrong on Michael Thomas, man. I didn't think that he would be this good in the league. I was worried about his overall speed. And coming into Ohio State, he came from a military school, originally played his high school football in California, Keyshawn Johnson's nephew. I thought he'd be a decent player at Ohio State. Went on to have a great career there. And from the time he enrolled, the first day until the day he left, you're not going to find, and Urban Meyer said this, you're not going to find a lot of players that improve more than him. He's a guy that's in early, stays late, loves watching film, loves the ugly part about being a football player. He thrives in that as far as getting there, lifting weights, trying to get better in every aspect. So this is a great story for me, because I had underestimated how good he'd be in the league, but he has some of the most dependable hands. He's become a great route runner because he doesn't have great speed. He doesn't have great athleticism. If you see him at the combine, he might be drafted in the 3rd or 4th round. But as a football player, he is the 1st round. He should be one of the top 5 paid guys that we've had, because first 3 years in the league, no one's caught more passes. That right there has proven it in itself, even though he's in a very favorable situation with New Orleans, Sean Payton, and Drew Brees. Very proud of Michael Thomas and how he's developed into one of the great receivers that we have in the game.
And New Orleans, to their credit, while even you, the greatest receiver in Ohio State history, didn't see this coming from your fellow Ohio State alum, New Orleans, after having him in the building, saw enough in him that they were comfortable trading away Brandon Cooks.
Yes, great.
Who was the more athletic, the guy most people thought had more upside. But I am curious, I'll bring you up a second time in this, he has some similar physical traits that you did in your career, right? You were never the fastest receiver in the league, never the tallest or could jump the highest, but your ability to run very precise routes and your refusal to drop passes, that's where Michael Thomas thrives, right? Are those two
He thrives in contested, but he also thrives in, even when I'm covered, I'm open. Because he has very, very strong hands at the point of attack, catches the ball away from his body. Very, very smart, too, where Sean Payton's able to move him around in their system to put him in different spots in the offense. Yes, Michael Thomas and I, very, very similar. He plays outside a little bit more than I did towards the end of my career, but he's been very effective. Red zone, very effective. 3rd down, very effective. Yes, he deserves that type of payday.
And this is one of those situations where it is a perfect fit for all sides. Drew Brees continues to knock away age and continues to say, I'm going to do exactly what Brady did and set all these records for quarterbacks of my age, but he maybe can do that for 1, 2. Let's give him the full benefit of the doubt, 3 more seasons. What you have with Michael Thomas is a receiver entering his prime who already knows the offense, who already has the rapport with Drew Brees, who has been incredibly productive. Of course the Saints pay Michael Thomas. Of course they pay him maybe not the highest paid receiver in football, but top 5 receiver money, because he's a top 5 receiver from a production standpoint. And New Orleans 2 years ago feels like, man, if not for the Minneapolis Miracle, we go to the Super Bowl, we win it. New Orleans feels like last year, if the referees make the damn right call, we go to the Super Bowl, we win it. They've been knocking at the door. You don't want to lose your most productive offensive player. They've done a good job drafting Michael Thomas, drafting Alvin Kamara, giving Drew Brees some weapons and some options in that offense, so it's not just Drew Brees throw the ball 600 times a season. So this will get done, and it'll be great for all parties.
All right, back to back.